Bill Barr is probably the most dangerous person in the country. And again, for all the melodrama about fascist this and fascist that, which I think we need to be much more careful about, this is an authoritarian person, and he knows exactly how to manage Donald Trump. This is clip number 4. He's with Laura Ingraham. And we all know that Donald Trump is basically haven't people actually died from trying to take this? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to pronounce it. What is it?
Hydroxychloroquine.
And Trump has kind of been like, yeah, that might be great. Even though it might not be great. So he's come under some criticism for this. This is what Bill Barr has to say. It's clip number 4 about COVID partisanship and giving untested medical advice to the general public.
In fact, it's very disappointing because I think the president went out at the beginning of this thing and really was statesmanlike, trying to bring people together, working with all the governors, keeping his patience as he got these snarky gotcha questions from the White House media pool. And the stridency of the partisan attacks on him has gotten higher and higher, and it's really disappointing to see. And the politicization of decisions like the hydroxychloroquine has been amazing to me. Before the president said anything about it, there was fair and balanced coverage of this very promising drug, and the fact that it had such a long track record, that the risks were pretty well known. And as soon as he said something positive about it, the media has been on a jihad to discredit the drug. It's quite strange.
That is the French pronunciation of jihad. He's
Francophile.
But guys, wasn't the point that some people have actually died from self-dosing this?
No, the point is that everybody is just being super political if they don't want to be a guinea pig for an untested drug. Right. Come on.
Well, they self-diagnosed, to be fair. They self-diagnosed with a fish treatment that had some of the same chemicals in it. But maybe that's why the president shouldn't be selling hope in something like that to, people that are stuck in their house getting desperate to avoid a pandemic.
Yeah, it's the idea that, the president who's not a medical doctor is giving out medical advice from the largest platform in the country right now. And doctors are saying, don't do that. It has nothing to do with the drug itself.
What does Barr mean by the hydroxychloroquine decision? The decision, Trump didn't make a decision. He's just promoting the shit.
I can't wait to...
Do we know yet the connection between Trump and the makers of this drug?
That's just going to say, I can't wait till afterwards when we have the time to assess every single thing he's promoted and the contracts, associated with, and what angle, Jared Kushner has positioned himself in so that his favorite cronies and himself can get.
I thought there was a report that I thought there was some ownership in that. I can't.
Yeah, it looks like there is some.
But I thought that's already happened, right?
So donor connections as well as some possibly small vested interests in production.
Come on, Miki. You have the command center right in front of you.
God, let me look.
Tell us the LLC and
make me do work, guys. Come on.
No.
I need to get a mic stand so I can Google better during the show.
Do you remember?
Don't get mine. Do not get mine. Let me just say that because it's flimsy as F.
Really?
Yeah. I have to figure out how to do the.
I'll probably just tape it to a broom again. That's what I had before, but then I needed to use the broom to sweep the floor, so I took it down.
I just have my mic on the 48 Laws of Power. All right, let's do. I
once was on a plane with Robert Greene. He was sitting next to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. I wish we had played the Tucker clip when Nomiki was on too, but let's go to Donald Trump.
Tucker.
Donald Trump. He is in campaign mode and he wants to know.
Oh, wait, I have an answer for you. Sorry, guys. Got it.
Go.
Trump's former lawyer had $1 million contracts with hydroxychloroquine. I can't say the word maker because, of course, Michael Cohen, we remember Michael Cohen, who I think is still in jail, in exchange for paying $100,000 per month for over a year, starting in February 2017. Novartis, which is a huge, I actually went to their headquarters in Switzerland one time. Google that. That's fucking insane.
What were you doing at their headquarters?
So I was part of this program called the American Swiss Foundation Partnership, and they had, a bunch of left, all political backgrounds and media figures. Every year they have them go to Switzerland, do like this exchange program. And that year, Novartis was one of the sponsors. And so they took us to their headquarters in Switzerland, which is insane. You're not allowed to take pictures. It's a campus where they have like artwork that's, tens of millions of dollars commissioned for them. Architects were commissioned to build their, and designers were commissioned to build all of their buildings. So I think you can find some of the buildings, like there's been articles written about it. It's stunning, but it's also extremely creepy. And of course it's Novartis. So
everybody should read The Constant Gardener or watch that movie.
Oh yeah.
That's all I can think about when I hear that. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, years ago. I'll watch it again. I have a lot of time now.
Le Carré. It's on. And by the way, actually, this is really relevant. I'll cover this more next week. But it is about illegal pharmaceutical testing on the continent in Africa.
Yeah.
And there has been public proposals floated during Corona of using Africans as guinea pigs.
Jeez. Public proposals? Who's proposing this?
That's why I haven't covered it yet. I need to track more of it down. But it was covered. I think it was covered on Al Jazeera. Like isn't just random assholes on social media and sociopath racists. But we have to look into it more. But
at least Trump wants to use Americans.
And the afterward,
the Puerto Ricans, they're not American. Remember, Trump
right.
standard. There's a long history of that there too.
Right. There's to say that is definitely a classic Trump amplifying the norm. But
they're taking their jobs.
In the end of The Constant Gardener, which is a novel by Le Carré, and unfortunately Le Carré's kind of sucked more recently with like labor and whatever, but he was a good novelist. And he and I remember reading that book, and I didn't know anything about John Le Carré. I was like, this is pretty lefty kind of like thriller book. And the author's note at the end of that book is like, first he does like stuff obviously you have to do where he's just like, hey, like I'm actually not, the British consulate in Nairobi is staffed by very nice people, and not saying that they're like complicit in murder or whatever. And he's like, as for the international pharmaceutical industry, my novel is like nothing compared to what they actually do. And you should look up like such and such resources on how they conduct themselves in developing countries. I was like, oh, okay. Whoa. Anyway,